Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Your friend Kat is celebrating her work anniversary.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Wow, has the time flown by, starting our 17th year doing the show. I would like to thank our listeners, the man upstairs, my parents for sometimes listening.
Let's say they can't anymore because they got a different car.
Oh my God, we got a 2022, and we just can't. We can't get you in. What are you talking about?
They're so sick of our show.
I'm like, what? Well, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you, literally.
No, I know because I heard you. So
Wow.
I was hoping that if I give you
You're such an eggplant.
a chance to get some thoughts together. All right, I want to play a song, and then I would like you to come back with maybe 3 of your favorite moments of working here at the 100,000-watt top 40 juggernaut known as 104.7 KCLD. Could you put together three thoughts?
Yes, I can. Yep, I'll do it right now.
I would like to say a special good morning to Rebecca, who says, it's my favorite when somebody posts the picture of Kat in the wheelchair at the airport.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Rebecca, if I could just refresh you as to how that happened. Kat and I, we're coming back from one of the affiliate stations, actually in Montreal, that carried our show. And we were there for a giant party. Like, they flew us in to host an enormous party, which went a lot later in the evening than we thought. So we got there, kind of spent a day in the market. Then the next day, just ramped up for the party. And unfortunately, that meant we didn't have a lot to do. So we found ourselves at the airport bar at about 11 a.m. And then the party that night. And then the next morning, we had, I think, a 9 a.m. flight. And what happened is Kat had, well, let's just say she had herself a good old time. And we walked into the airport, and we had already had our boarding passes printed. And she plopped down in a wheelchair.
Abandoned.
And just sat there until somebody moved her to the gate. And once she got to the gate, she laid right in front of the jetway. People literally had to step over her because they thought she had died.
I do remember closing my eyes for what I thought was a brief moment, but it was long enough to get into REM state because JJ pokes me with his huge toe and he's like, you're snoring. Stop.
People were laughing. They were taking pictures of her.
Oh, please.
But yes, if you ever see the Kat airport picture, you'll know it when you see it. She had the big glasses on so people couldn't see her eyes. It was an epic moment.
It was a show.
So let's give you a couple seconds to maybe just describe real quick, maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite memories over the last 17 years here.
One might make me cry, so I can't look at you. When I got to announce that I was pregnant.
Oh, that was great.
My God. He's 10. He's starting 5th grade tomorrow. Where is the time gone? So if you've been here the whole time since I've had Liam, that's 10 years. That's crazy. It's a decade, if you didn't know that. The next one is kind of an umbrella because it's any listener that has something personal to share. And I love that. That is my favorite part of the job.
Yeah, we do get to go through journeys with people, whether it's relationships, whether it's illness. A lot of people will share with us, hey, my dad passed away last week or something like that. So I do feel fortunate that we get to share in those. I feel like sometimes it's awkward because we don't necessarily know these people, like, when they share the stuff with us, but then I feel like, wow, they're comfortable enough sharing that with us as part of their little radio family. So that's always nice.
Has to be my favorite part. And don't not do it. If you feel like you have to vent about something, we don't have to say your name, but you can share anything with us. I love that. And then, when I got to make things right with that girl whose panties I stole in 2005, and I still have them to this day. They're holding on by a thread, no joke, and I still wear them.
If I remember, she called the show, and you had told her about, and this was, just to reset, guys, this was your roommate when you were in college?
I crashed in her pad a lot.
And then, and you would steal her underwear when you'd crash there.
Yeah, I'd forget, I don't want to drive another hour back home, and so I just went and grabbed some panties, and I had to get to work.
And you loved them because they were such better quality panties than you were used to.
They were Victoria's Secret. When would I ever spend that money on undergarments for myself.
That was a good moment of
I
clarity.
get my underwear at Costco, if that means anything to you.
Like right off the truck, it's a pallet.
Yeah, strip of tape holding them all together. They're all rolled up. So I thought that I felt a little bit classier wearing those underwear. But I got to say, I'm sorry for stealing them. But thank you for the comfort for all these years.
Now, missing moments from Kat's 3 favorite descriptive moments of the Playhouse. Meeting her husband at work seemed to not make the list.
Oh, sure.
Any of her wedding anniversaries, any of our ratings or financial successes, those all missed the cut.
Oh, I feel like me mentioning our amazing listeners trumps any financial gain from this show.
Listen, so making right with the stolen panty girl was more important than saying I met my husband and my life mate at work?
I don't know. Those are just
You're such a bag of tools.
Radio Paparazzi.
Jeanette McCurdy, who just penned an actually very popular book. It's titled I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead. Her mom was very verbally abusive. I don't know if she is insinuating that she's physically abusive as well, but she didn't want to be in acting, and her mom forced her to, and her mom said some nasty things. You can tell in this email.
You used to be my perfect little angel, but now you are nothing more than a little, all caps, slut, floozy, all used up. You look pudgier too. It's clear you're eating your guilt. What happened to my good little girl? Where did she go? And who is this monster that has replaced her? You're an ugly monster now. I told your brothers about you, and they all said they disown you just like I do. We want nothing to do with you.
Wow.
That is mental illness in its largest form. Like anybody that could possibly talk to something that they made, their child, like that, there is something deeply disturbed inside your mind. And I'm glad that she's moving on. This has to be very therapeutic. Sylvester Stallone, he's getting up there in age. So much so, he thinks he swallowed his mustache.
I think I swallowed my mustache. I didn't eat anything that furry. I can't find my mustache. I think I ate it. Okay,
Here it is.
You got it?
I got it.
Where was it?
It was in the sandwich.
Seriously, yeah. You think I'm going to put that on my face? It's
Gross.
covered in tuna.
So his mustache had fallen into his tuna salad. He had to wear it during filming for Tulsa King, and
he's
couldn't
past
tell
the
where it
age
went.
where the confusion and the forgetfulness is concerning, and now it's comedic.
I can't wait to see who his next choice of gal is now that he's getting divorced from his wife of like decades. You know it is going to be someone
She'll be
younger.
22 with a huge rack. You know that.
Jennifer Lawrence, a lot of people when they meet her, they are starstruck. But who knew that the Verizon guy, Paul Marcielli, would be the one that would make her starstruck?
The Verizon wireless guy. I was doing a commercial in Canada. It was my 16th birthday, and the Verizon guy brought me my birthday cake.
She was starstruck by that dude.
Isn't that crazy?
I guess.
Yeah. All right. Blowing out their candles today. Evan Rachel Wood is 35. Angie Everhart, who had lockjaw. Did you know that?
I heard.
She couldn't have this. 2 fingers. She's 53 today. And Leslie Jones from SNL is 55.
Imagine being at Sunday service at church, and they update you on how fantasy. This is not church music.
It's an organ at church.
This is not church organ.
Yes.
This is what they played at my wedding.
They played this at your wedding?
Yeah.
Did you marry Elvira?
You,
How funny. No, this is at a church.
I'm sure it's a pipe organ from a church. All right.
So how many people are involved in this fantasy football ring at church? How unnecessary.
I don't think it's a very big deal. Think about that. Like if you're halfway through the sermon and the preacher's like, real quick, everybody make your trades for fantasy football. Do them real quick right now as we have a moment of silence while we take the offering. And here's the deal. I'm not really a traditional Christian, is where I don't believe in the whole like, hey, you got to give the church a bunch of money to get to heaven. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in that. I believe that a community of people that come together with like-minded ideas as far as your faith is good for strength. I don't believe it's ever to be used to shame someone or to look for power, right?
Well, I want to know where this money is going, because according to the Bible, it doesn't call gambling a sin as such, but it does say that any get rich quick schemes and the love of money is frowned upon.
And what book of the Bible is the quick rich scheme
it's
stuff
in? It's the third at page 92.
Leviticus?
Correct.
It's in? Okay, all right.
Good old Levy.
Yeah. You're a rare book expert. You're a middle-aged.
I'll go to church soon.
Middle-aged former Catholic girl.
But you know what? When I go to church, I'll tell you I'm there for the message.
I know. I'm just saying. But have you ever had a piece of pizza at church?
No.
Okay, so my church has pizza in between church and when the kids go off to Sunday school or Bible school or confirmation, you can grab a slice of pizza there.
Where do you go to church?
Bethlehem Lutheran. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
And the kid. So
I like
now you're
pizza.
swayed that way. You didn't have a church until you realized there was pizza there.
Yeah, but then there's that fine line, and then you hit gluttony, and then you go to hell.
I don't think anyone's getting gluttonous off the $5 pizza at our church. What I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with a fantasy football league at church. And here's why. It brings people together. You share a common interest. I don't think it impedes your faith. And I think if you say, all right, everybody's going to toss in $10, and no matter what, half of that money is going to go towards the church, then what's the difference between putting that in the offering plate and having some fun with fantasy football?
It just seems a little distracting in my mind. The concept of church, you go for a message.
Put your phone away during church.
You wouldn't put your phone away?
Of course you would.
That's the thing. People would be on their phones making changes.
And here's why you go to the early service. If you go to one of these churches where they have like an 8 and a 9 and a 10 or maybe even 11, go to the early service so that when you get out, you can talk to the rest of the people in the area. Hey, what are you doing for trade? You want to trade this? You want to, what's your defense looking like this week?
Oh my.
Why not? Why is that a worse conversation than walking out into the vestibule and just saying, hi, where are you going for breakfast?
I guess I'm
Why
there
is that
for a
wrong?
different reason. Linda
didn't say I was
goes
going to
your
church.
church. Did you tell Linda to text in? She says, my husband is in the same fantasy football league.
I don't think it's a problem. I just want to get your first thought on this real quick. If you go to church this weekend and they've launched a giant fantasy football program, they ask you for $10 to be in it, knowing that $5 is going to the church. Why not? I'm not saying you have to participate during church. Throughout the week, you make your trades and make everything look good. I don't have a problem with this at all. I'm not perfect. And that's why I don't shame people. But Kat sits here in her ivory tower every single morning telling everybody, if you've listened to the show, you've heard her say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. This is bad for society. And during that last song, she shamed me because I don't know what what is it?
A carafe.
What is a carafe?
Rhymes with giraffe.
Spell it.
Carafe.
Is
a
this
carafe.
something the Kardashians sell?
No, it's a water carafe.
What's a water carafe?
It's like a glass
Stop
bottle.
making me seem like I don't know anything.
Stop getting upset that you don't know anything. So
what is
it's
it?
Just a glass water container.
Why would you want a glass water container on your bedside table?
It is adorable, and it doesn't sweat, and the top is the cup to the carafe. So keeps anything from falling in like dust or hair or
So
whatever.
it's 1:18 a.m. and you want to drink a water.
Parched.
You have to pick up the glass jug, take the top off, pour it in, drink it, put it back on. The water's going to run down the side, and then it could be glass, so if it falls over, it's going to break.
It won't. It's a Wakapi.
And people on your Facebook page are saying that this isn't necessarily a water thing. It's made for male enhancement.
Listen, the shape is unconventional. I'll give that person that. But no, it does not help male enhancing.
Now, what if you walked in and Derek had thought he had the house to himself? No,
and he was going to town on my Wakapi? I don't think so.
What's it called?
A Wakapi. It's on Amazon, $16.
You bougie
I
jerks
love it.
that decide to make up words for water jugs.
It's not a made-up word. It's been around since words.
Okay. Oh, you're right.
Carafe.
And it's a Wakapi?
A Wakapi. That's the brand, a Wakapi, 22-ounce carafe. I love it, and I'm excited. It's a bedside carafe.
What do you pay for a jug to put water in nowadays?
I just said a $16 carafe. And it's cute.
God,
it's
I hope
beautiful.
it breaks. Because of the way you talk to me today, I hope it breaks right away.
Oh, okay.
I hope you get it broken and can never use it.
Listen.
When's it going to
break
arrive?
your neck and you get so angry.
When is it going to arrive?
It arrives on Friday.
Listen, if you drive and deliver packages anywhere near Kat's home, I urge you to drop it and kick it up the driveway. I will double whatever they're paying you at UPS if you make sure that this thing shows up at her front door broken.
You're an angry
I will
elf.
double. You're a craft jerk.
Carafe.
Why? You make this.
You wouldn't call it a giraffe.
I wouldn't
It's
call
a
it anything. It's
giraffe.
a water bottle. It's an overpriced water bottle.
Well, this hurt a little bit. If you have invested any of your money in Meta, Facebook's parent company, they have been fined $402 million by a European Union for mishandling children's privacy data.
You
on
numbnutzes
Instagram.
that jump on every new thing. Like, let it be out
No,
for
I
a
bought
year.
Facebook, and then they changed Facebook to Meta as an umbrella. So anything under
Why
Facebook.
do you think they changed that umbrella? Because they knew there was impending lawsuits that would cost them hundreds of millions?
I don't know, but listen, this is also, I think, a huge part of being a parent. Make sure that your children know who to trust, who not to trust, what to say.
When it comes to your
what
financial
information to not
advising.
Yeah, I got a meeting I got to call someday soon, all right?
Karen, who is Karen?
Karen. Yeah.
Karen.
I supposed to do
Karen, why did you do that?
That must be Karen. Karen?
I don't want Karen here.
Everyone buzzing today about Vancouver opening up an all Karen pop-up diner. So this is where you can go and be a Karen and no consequences,
This
no
sounds
phones.
horrible.
No phones will record you doing anything, and you're literally forced, even if you're not a Karen, to be a Karen. So a rude waiter will come to your table, kind of like
Dick's Last Resort, right?
yeah, or Billy Goats
Yeah.
in Chicago, and they'll say rude things to you. They'll overcharge you, and you have to. It's almost like a game. You have to become a Karen, and their slug line is "We dare you." So it might be.
It could be fun to work there.
Yeah.
I think I would like that.
I think that is your world every day, so I think you'd be very good at it. And finally, are you thirsty? The Dirty Soda is the latest drink going viral on TikTok. So it's a regular soda. It has flavored syrup and then cream added to it. So it almost tastes like a cream soda, which already makes my gut feel weighed down. But they say don't use milk. You have to use creamer and then take out any of the citrus pieces in your drink before you consume. I don't think that you should do more than one. It doesn't sound super healthy, but it's the latest drink going viral. And that is what's trending.
What do they call it? Blocktober? It's almost
Blocktember.
Blocktember?
It's
Wouldn't that be better
September.
with Blocktober?
Yeah, when we're in October.
Like when every rock station goes, it's Rocktober.
Yeah, so Blocktember, this is the month where you can go through and block people that just bug you. And I don't do it often. It takes a lot for me to get like upset with what you say because I live by the rules. Like whatever, you want to put that on your Facebook, I don't really care. It gives us material to talk about for the most part on our show. Taylor had texted because our question is, what's the last reason why you blocked someone on social media? She says, I just blocked my cousin. She keeps tagging me in pyramid schemes. One was a post for a Christmas XXX giveaway. Not my thing.
Oh,
then-
like what are those parties? That
Like a pure romance
Pure
party.
romance Christmas party?
Lenny texted, I actually was asked by my boss why I had blocked her on Facebook. I said that I'm just a private person. She actually made a fake profile the next day. I found out 3 months later. That's how badly she
That's
wanted to keep
shady.
tabs on you, Lenny. The last time, and I maybe do it like once or twice a year if somebody really bothers me, but there was that post about that guy that had tried to take that kid from a porch in Sauk Rapids. Do you remember that? And we talked about it.
I think so, yeah.
And it's not like I was saying anybody's name or anything like that. And it was shared by 8,000 people in the area. Okay. So, yes, I have a radio show. I understand that I have maybe a bigger platform to talk about it. But she just went in and was vague booking where she's like, some people that might have a radio show just shared something that they didn't do research about and blah, blah, blah. And she commented below the post, you know, this is fake news. Take it off your Facebook. You're inciting fear within people. I'm like, actually, okay, I'm fine with that because you should have video cameras outside of your home. There are too many weirdos around.
I don't think having people be more fearful of your children's health and well-being is a bad thing. I don't think you're...
Not like I said, there is a meteor that will hit at noon today. We're all dead at noon. Hug your loved ones. I never said anything like that. It was like I shared a post.
You blocked her.
That looked local. And then she just had too much to say, and it was taking up a lot of my day. And I was like, no more. And so I just kind of blocked her. But
I blocked Starvin' Marvin.
Why?
I forgot about that.
He's so innocent.
Listen, I don't block people, but this jagaloop would go to he would go to the Messenger app and then call me. Like during the show, my laptop would be right. The one time, you're right, he was without a shirt, and I look over and usually I've got the 3 screens of what's going on in the radio in front of me. Kat's got her computer over here, and my way of accessing our texting and everything else is just off to my left on a laptop, and I would hear. And I'd look over there, and he would be calling me through Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Through my Facebook during the show, and then the one time we were inside like a commercial break, and there was a song playing, and I go, "All right, you know what's in giggles? Let's answer it." And there's Starvin' Marvin looking like he just ate a funnel cake with his shirt off. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So I had to put the block on him.
That was a lot of body hair. So
I had to put the block on.
Who's the last person that you blocked and why? Maybe you're like me. It takes a lot. I really don't care.
And you're still blocking all the naked people on Snapchat.
I don't need to see other naked women. I got what I'm working with. I can just look in a mirror. So I don't need all these hot women from Switzerland trying to catfish us.
What if we gave them some money? What would be the worst that could happen?
Probably identity theft, you know.
Let's begin now.
I'm loving short weeks. I woke up this morning, I had a smile on my face. I said, hot damn, it's Wednesday already.
I know. I am ready for the weekend already. I'm just like, I love that extra day for that holiday weekend. But yeah, I'm ready living for the weekend.
Tell me about your Tuesday. What was good?
We had our first scrimmage against the other Becker team because we had so many boys come out. So we have 2 teams, and it was fun. It was nice to see them work on their mechanics together. And sometimes they get so competitive, but we have to remind them you'll be one team someday. So be nice to each other. But overall, it was good. The other day I wanted to tell you about this text thread with my family. So I started this, and it's for Christmas. And because I'm the planner in the family, okay? So I wrote, here's the plan for Christmas. It's going to be at my house. This is how much we're going to spend, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's like, oh, great. Then my dad says, where are the noodles in the fridge? My grandpa responds, we don't know. I wrote, wrong person, Dad. He said, the food was a gift from Doug and Penny. My mom writes, the black container on the shelf, but might be a little past due. I wrote, this is not the text thread for this. And then my dad writes, found it. Thank you.
Just clearly ignoring you?
I just said it was like just the perfect example of Boomerama and nobody understanding when the right time to ask where the noodles are. It just made my weekend, but maybe you're dealing with that.
No, yesterday what I dealt with is I had to run and get some flags for my yard to mark out my sprinklers for aeration. And worked a little from home, and then went to football practice. And football practice was great yesterday. It was hot. It was sweaty. Kids were working hard. It was great. Got home, and my wife's sitting on the couch with the dog, and I grabbed 2 summer shandies out of the fridge.
Yeah.
And I said, I motioned to her like a dog.
Oh,
I said,
lovely.
Come on, you and me.
And she responded.
And we went, yep. And I held up the beer.
Oh.
And that's like a doggy treat. It's like, all right. And I said, we got to drink these on the patio. It was too nice.
Yeah.
So we sat out there, had a couple of beers. Well, 7:30, 7:45, I said, Trish, I'm going to wind down here. I'm going to pop a couple melatonin.
Yeah.
I'm going to have one more beer. And your boy's going to sleep.
So you had alcohol and how many milligrams of melatonin?
Just 1 5 milligram tablet.
Kick
and
it up.
Just enough to take the edge off. And then had a night's sleep that, I can only equate to as, when the cavemen were afraid they were going to get eaten every single night because they didn't have proper shelter. This is my wife's thing yesterday. Let's open up all the windows.
I love it.
You know what the temperature was when we tried to go to sleep last night?
Was it hot?
82 degrees in my bedroom.
Yeah, what's wrong with her?
It was too much. And I said, hey, what are we doing here? She goes, oh, you don't like that? I go, no, I don't like that at all. And I rolled around trying to find a comfy spot for about 3 hours. A Would You Rather Wednesday. Let me throw a couple scenarios out here. We're going to get to know Kat a little bit better.
This is a fun game. All right.
Kat, would you rather be the president of the United States for a day or a billionaire for a day?
What a dumb question. A billionaire.
Just for a day.
Yeah.
You'd have to
eat
go back
lobster
to-
all day on a yacht and make it rain.
We know you don't like animals. Would you rather give a pig a walk or a turtle a walk?
Well, I don't like to walk fast, so a turtle.
I don't think the pig is really going to gallop or
Turtles
anything.
are actually quite fast.
Kat, would you rather have a job that pays $70 an hour but lets you work from home, or a job that pays $100 an hour and requires you to be physically present?
The latter. I think that is how we got through the pandemic without going crazy by coming in. I need to be around people.
Kat, would you rather carry around a 25-pound dumbbell in your big-ass purse for no reason, or not be allowed to carry around anything with you? Your choices are you don't get to carry anything with you, or you got to put a 25-pound dumbbell in that big-ass purse.
It really won't make a difference, so probably a dumbbell.
I was
need
going to say
purse.
that thing's got to be 45 pounds to begin with.
Yeah.
Kat, would you rather have front row tickets to any musician in the world, or have $1 million and never be able to listen to music you recognize?
Front row. Front row. I need music. It helps my soul.
Would you rather go to the hospital for a headache or the dentist for a toothache?
Headache.
Really?
Yeah.
You hate the dentist?
I hate the dentist.
Why?
I hate the dentist, and I hate my OBGYN visits. They're the worst.
I've heard about those. They're on the internet.
Everybody's
yeah,
heard about
right.
those.
Wait till you get on Reddit. Kat, couple more. Would you rather use your driver's license pic as your profile photo on Facebook, or post your last text conversation to social media?
My last text conversation. But my photo, I got ready that day. You saw it. I have my makeup done, hair done. It's the Costco picture. Oh, my God. So I had one of the guys that I helped coach football with. He Googled me, and I was so worried. He found a photo of me that put in a text thread that we have going on. And I was like, don't ever Google me again, because I feel like my Costco picture is going to pop up somewhere, somehow.
Well, it's on our Facebook, isn't it? I think we put it on our Facebook at one time.
I feel like maybe I deleted it. Because
Really?
it's so bad.
It's not that bad.
It made me want to cry.
All right, we welcome Layla to the show. We know a little, but we don't know enough. Break down what was going on here.
So we had our 20th high school reunion over the last weekend, and my ex-boyfriend, I dated him all throughout high school, and he must have had a couple drinks. He came up to me and decided to tell me everything he did during our relationship and all the girls that he cheated on me with. Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of isn't this kind of what I want to do with Matt? You know how I was horrible with
Yeah,
Matt?
Kat wants to do this with one of her ex-boyfriends, and I'm like, this does nobody any good.
I know.
These are old wounds you're reopening, right? I can only assume this hurt.
I think it's more for him, not to settle your mind. He definitely had some sort of maybe he's not in AA, but that kind of come to.
Yeah, do you feel like he's going through something where he's got to release all of this? Like it's almost a purge or
I'm sorry
confession?
list. Yeah, the giant I'm sorry list of all the people you've done wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then you just kind of mark it off with lipstick. Mark off name by
I can
name.
only assume this made you feel horrible, right?
Well, it made me feel horrible and hurt and then weirded out. Why after all this time did you decide to come clean?
Yeah. You think about him a lot. If he's obviously still thinking about you.
Not really. I moved on, but the people he cheated with were all in this room, so it was really awkward.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. So you know what I would love to do? I would love to open the lines up for people that want to say sorry, but not to the person. Maybe get it off their chest. Say, sorry, I cheated. but not actually tell the person. You know what I mean? Like, I could do it about Matt. I know he's not listening, so I could say, hey, Matt, I'm sorry. I was a cheater, pumpkin eater. I didn't mean to.
People are going to do this. This seems like a lot to ask.
You don't need to use names or anything like that, but I think it would be interesting to hear how many people want to just kind of like get it off their chest.
Almost every one of our texters say, do not tell your ex you cheated on them. It doesn't do them any good. It only hurts them. And that's what Layla was going through. She just called and said, had our 20-year reunion recently, and my ex-boyfriend decided in a crowd full of women that he cheated with on me to tell me that, 20 years later, I wasn't faithful.
Obviously, this person was dealing with something where he's like, I have to make amends. Maybe he's dying of a rare disease or something. But I don't think. Oh, so that happened to me too when I was. I went home that Wednesday before Thanksgiving one time, and it was maybe about 12 years ago because I wasn't 13 or something like that. And my ex Joe, who I cheated on, I cheated on all my boyfriends.
Bad girlfriend.
I was a horrible girlfriend. I'll be the first to say it. So when it was done to me, I was like, girl, that's karma. You cannot even really get upset at that. But he walked up to me. I remember I went to the restroom and he must have seen me from across the bar. And he walks up and he goes, hey, I forgive you. And I was like, okay. I don't even know. And someone
Did you really go for what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did that face and he was like, I'm serious. I've let everything go. And I said, okay, good. Sounds good. And I just walked away. I was not.
You didn't buy him a drink or anything to seal this up?
No, man.
Jeez,
I even cheated on him when he brought me to a family wedding with one of the people in the wedding party. It was bad.
You're such a hussy.
It was bad, but I was 18.
Doesn't matter.
You can't hold people.
Be nice to Joe. He sounds like a good guy.
Joe was a good guy. He's still a good guy, I'm sure. But anyway, so the karma was.
Did he say why he was going through this? Why he just walked up to you and said, I forgive you? He's.
I didn't have time.
God, you are just a horrible, self-centered person.
Listen, I was back in the day. Now, once you have kids, things get put in perspective, and you're a better
everybody
person.
about the fiance.
So Amos was having some people over, and we were drinking and playing card games. And I remember, my ex-fiance who used to work here, he left and went into Amos's bedroom, and he had to take a call. And so I walked through Amos's bathroom, which led into a walk-in closet, which led into his bedroom. And Chris had no idea. And he was laying belly, how, 13-year-olds. 13-year-olds talk to their boyfriends. And he was like, yeah, listen, I just can't be with her anymore. She's too much.
He's clearly talking about you.
Yes. And he was like, I just want to be with you and we can go to Colorado together and all this stuff. And I was like, and then I made a little noise him. And I remember he looks and turns around and then hangs up the phone. He's like, listen, I didn't mean anything I said. And I'm just like, you cheated on me. And then he asked me to marry him and I said, sure. But once again, you're 20.
None of this
21.
makes any sense.
I look back and I'm like, I maybe could write a coffee table book. Nothing with too many chapters, but maybe some juicy stuff that I'm not too proud of.
I just, everybody just keeps texting in, don't say anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, man. I just can't see how this could make anyone's life any better. If you approach them 20 years after the fact and said, hey, just to let you know, I wasn't faithful to you. That's so self-serving.
I agree with you. As much as I want to do this with Matt because he's such an amazing guy from back in the day, my ex, but
let him live his life, man.
Yeah, I have to. He's married now and he's a stepdad and I don't need to get into that world.
Crapping on his dinner plate.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.